But you have watched that, Commander Willy. I'm going to ask you some questions. But before I get to that, please, do you want to talk to us what is happening with the lockdown across the entire nation?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Paddy, and we greet all Ambazona people them. The federal government of Ambazonia is a government. It has called a lockdown starting on the 2nd to the 9th of September for many, many reasons. This lockdown will be reinforced by all Ambazona State Army in the 13 county and 61 LGA. Sometimes we're at war, but we have to look at certain things that work to our favor. The government is the federal government, and President Sako is the president of Ambazonia. President Sako have called a lockdown on the 2nd to the 9th. And if you follow keenly, nobody have come to debunk the president lockdown. Nobody have come to interrupt the president lockdown. Nobody have come to mimic the president lockdown. So that is a lockdown that the president can defend, that he authorized this to happen. So moving forward, we have 61 LGA and 13 counties. At instances and sometimes when there's difficulties or situations in the area, you find that it will be important to put a lockdown in a particular local government area where a federal system, and as such, each LG or each county will work in harmony and in unity. But at times, if there's a threat in your area, the chief security of that area can implement a lockdown. When they implement their lockdown, they are not coming to debunk that of the government that the government have given. The government has said from the 2nd to the 9th, and that will be followed by all Ambazona State Army. The Ambazona State Army, they know themselves, and all the local government area and the county and the chief of those areas. I will take you to my area like Manyo, where the county coordinator of Manyo County. The federal government is supposed to put a lockdown, but as such, if you look at in a tactical way, you do not just come and do certain things without you putting the people defending in place. If before the government announced lockdown, for example, in my situation in Manu, it was deemed necessary because we have certain operations that was coordinated by our chief security to carry out certain operation in Manu because of intelligence that we got on the Bojongo Highway, that's Manfi Ekok Highway, for certain reasons. That's why I would say the lockdown of Bojongo Highway will start on September the 1st. That does not contradict the government lockdown. The government has put that lockdown, but we see a need to put that lockdown on the 1st of that September in Manu County. While the government has put a lockdown, that lockdown for the government will be respected. And even if the government lockdown is respected to the 9th, after the 9th, it does not mean that Manu will not still continue to control and manage Bojongo Highway for tactical reasons. We will manage it till further notice. That does not mean that we violated the government policy of lockdown or no lockdown. As compared to big countries like United States, where they say the country is locked down, some countries, they will follow the general lockdown authority by the president, as Dr. Samuel Sako have said, from the 2nd to the 9th. That's a federal order. But now we have what we call local government orders and LGA orders and county orders. When each county or each LGA say their lockdown will go from this time to this time, I don't think it's a problem for us to be jumping by the bush or to begin to say this belongs here, this does not belong here. When we talk behind, we cannot come to the public and be saying certain things. The question is, when those segmental lockdowns are put in place, are they affecting the enemy or are they affecting us? We should look into that part. The whole idea of this war is to squeeze and press the enemy. Not all the strategy will just come out and pour in the public. If you pour in the public, there was a function of strategy again. You cannot tell people that, for example, the lockdown will start on the 2nd, for example, of which you've not put people in place by the 1st. You have to put people in place, even though the Cabro army will go occupy the area before you even get there. So when they put certain things, we should understand. When an LGA, you call certain team like in Ndop call their lockdown in an area, some people call me and say, what do you think? I said that order is put down by that commander in that area, it should be respected. Really, commanders on the ground, they know what they're going day to day. We are here, we might not see or know what is going on day by day. If you, Paddy, you are managing, let me say you're a county coordinator or a defense chief in Momo, and you see that the Cabro army come at night and come and kill 5, 6, 7 of your fighters that you're fighting with, or see that they are coming, you got to implement the lockdown so that way you can do what? You can take care of the situation. It does not mean that you violate the government. You are an army, you have been activated to look, Ambazona army, they are not functioning all on lockdown. Ambazona State Army have not been authorized to function all on lockdown. They are functioning 24/7. At any time, they can lock the place and take control of the situation. We're at war here now. We should understand it. So when something is going on that they see that there's a red flag or there's something that can pinch the enemy, they're not going to wait until lockdown comes that is announced by the government. The government is who? The government is not just one government. It's the whole system controlled and managed by Dr. Simon Sakwe Komen. The 61 LGA chair people are the government. The 13 county coordinators are the government. The Ambazonian people are the government. If they see there's a need to wipe out the council, La Republic that is coming to squeeze us in that area, we should look on it. When it comes to what they do in FACO, the announcement that they make in FACO, we know who are fighting and who are not fighting. So sometimes some people have joint operations that they carry. So when we come to give that award, we give award to the one that the state, the federal government have commissioned. The federal government has asked us to manage the Ambazona State Army. So when we give rank and promotions, you always hear we say the Ambazona State Army. So tomorrow, if you are fighting anywhere under somebody, when we was have put the flag in Boya flying, when they give those federal packages that they'll give to the fighters, people who have brought us so far to victory, when you come to get your package, you better make sure that you align yourself with your county and your LG and under your state army. If you say I'm fighting under Barrister Fru or under Willy or under this, you better go for those individuals to give your own package. So that's the thing. Everything is documented. It's not just on the air. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, the whole idea of this was to ensure that we get we don't respect La République du Cameroon's lockdown. I understand that you people had a discussion with some of them, and I know that there is a discussion with all the fighters on the ground, because the fighters on the ground, all fighters fighting for Ambazonia on the ground, belong to the government. That's the
Correct.
message the president was communicating. So we are trying to. The point is this: that some of us share the sentiments that the people on the ground should not be inflicted with so much pain. So if we're going to have a lockdown that could take 2 weeks instead of the 1 week, it might be some concerns there. But again, it only helps to make Ambazonia ungovernable for
Oh, Paddy,
the
sorry, excuse me, Paddy.
Ambazonia government.
Yeah, clarification. We are not fighting
Yeah.
to make Amazon ungovernable. We are not fighting to make Amazon ungovernable. We are fighting for independence. So sorry, ungovernable and independence, those are two different things. Our
I
aim
get
of
that.
fighting for this war is independence. They're not ungovernable, I can
It
make it to be ungovernable. That's not
is to get
they
our
have gone
sovereignty.
for more
That's
alive.
correct.
Yes, independence, case closed. So we are not going to begin to judge what it is. And secondly, they declared the war, they did not declare the war to Ambazona State Army only. They declared the war to all Ambazonians. So if you're a
To
civilian,
all
you are supposed to
Amazonians.
fight. Yeah, if you're a
They're
civilian, you're
supposed to
supposed to
fight.
resist in any way. If you don't want to be locked down, pick the gun and stand up. As simple as ABC. We should not be saying that this and this, this and this and this. Look, I work in medical field as well. When you enter that
Yeah.
operation room, the doctor says, give me a stethoscope. You take it and give the doctor. And the housekeeping will come and mop the floor. It's a collective effort to make sure that patient is treated. We're in the delivery room. We are not going to beg nobody permission to give us that exit for us to come out from the mother's womb. We're just going to come. When the baby is coming, it does not ask their permission. It does not ask what happened, Barrister Fruit Johnson is talking resolution something. The fighter on the ground don't know nothing about resolution something. The resolution we know is to shoot the enemy. As they are criminals in Nawala, they are not supposed to be in the first case. Look, we are going around the circle. Barrister Fruit, thanks for your work and thanks for your help. Carry their paper to your United Nations. We're going to carry the gun to the enemy.
Okay, Barrister Fru, you want to add something there? I think I agree with
Let
you,
me
Commander Willie.
no. I beg to differ. The mountain lions have made a definite announcement, ignoring the orders of the government. They have placed their own lockdown from the 9th going to what 15, 16 or whatever day they chose they said at the end. They have not indicated that the lockdown starts on the 2nd, which is a direct contradiction to the orders from government. And we know that the mountain lions belong to are supposed to be the ASA. There are rogue elements in that setup. that contradicts this government. Anytime a government needs, it sends an announcement. And I beg to differ. I agree with Willie that the local government or the county can create its own lockdown for security reasons. That is a given. But in the specific case of mountain lions, what were they saying? The lockdown starts from the 9th, and they were specific. Through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, of a certain, and then cut off on a certain weekend. Please, this is disorder. Exactly what the president was saying. That when you take yourself and consider yourself a group, and you act as if you don't belong to the government, you make the government weak. And the government is looked upon like a group of people who are causing disorder. Please, the mountain lions must be made to toe the line. Commander Willie, you are the commander. You are the commissioner on the ground. Ensure that the mountain lions respect the government lockdown from the 2nd to the 9th. Anything after the 9th, for their security reasons, they can institute that. I don't have any quarrel with that. But the government lockdown must be respected to the letter. And that is what I was talking about, rook elements on the ground. So let's not deceive Amazonians by trying to model the whole situation. We must get the mountain lions to toe the line. Commander Willy, that is what I'm saying.
Sir.
I am not a gun carrier, but I reason like any other Amazonian. You cannot tell me that the government put the lockdown from the 2nd to the 9th, and you announce your own from the 9th to a later date without incorporating the government lockdown in it. And you say it's for security reasons? I don't believe that. And I would never believe that.
With all respect, that lockdown will be reinforced in Boya. It will be reinforced in Boya as such. It's not like
good. That's what I want to hear.
It's a federal lockdown.
That's what I want to hear.
No,
that's what I want to hear.
Commander Willie, Commander Willie, as we are concluding on it, I want you to talk a little bit more about the lockdown, what the people need to do in collaboration with the fighters on the ground to ensure that the enforcement, first of all, the significance of this lockdown is what Barrister Fru will be telling us again. But I want you to talk to us in details what is required from the home front population to ensure that this is a success.
Yes, Mr. Paddy, thanks. I will talk for pidgin so that I talk to my people. Them, I know go talk for English. English now foreign language. Mami and Papa, them government don't call lockdown. Say this, so it will start on the 2nd for this September to the 9th. So this lockdown, Barrister Fruit yourself will tell you many reasons where you get the benefit. This lockdown, it will help we for ground day, for keep control and keep command for ground. And we expect everybody respect them. And how you will respect them, you go gather your food, gather your things them, you keep them for your house. You go wash your clothes them, you keep them for house. While the lockdown going to go on, my department going to come and as time to go on, they give an order them on how to survive time for lockdown. So now when they get audio them, how to survive on the lockdown. Those order them are not going to put music, so that way when I go save data and it will be shorter. We will give you guidelines on waiting for do. But for the meantime, first you got to prepare your mind. So you're there for war. Remember all the with the carry gun, you're there for war. Once you resist the enemy, now already war that. We call and say civil disobedience for why man they talk. That means you don't deny, say, they know carry you for make you slave. You don't deny, say, the enemy no carry you for turn for full time. So, or for turn for full con time. Or for making me village jama jama. Now, that way, the lockdown a day. For this time for lockdown, why when I did for our houses, when I'll be for house. Some when I be Christian, when I go get in a small group, when I teach when I picking Bible lessons in for house. When I feel make small sing if myself in the house, when I not for shout, just among when I teach with myself. Now you will take time for learning you're picking them, who we are picking them, where you want grow, what you want be. How when I go do self-defense for ground now. When army come, if army come to the enter inside house, what you go do? Wait to go to for put that for block road. We go cut a stick for block the road the way army fit come with them. Because Cameroon army too they go work for night, try for can't kill people. Them. They go work for define animal we see on outside, they go shoot them. They go stay under the Amba. They try for reinforce the lockdown. So you go before down and they will get a low for or fair people then. Cameroon army will get fair people them when they will come outside. They will tell say they be Amba, give me money, do so, do so. No giam, nobody will take bribe. And I'd encourage you for grounding for all people for the 13 county and 61 LG. Me when I talk for country talk. Mami and papa, even if you the talk on the talk, if you buy Bayangi, talk for your beginning for Bayangi for this time. If you be Banso, talk for Banso. If you for come, talk for come. Country talk be very important in our identity. And country talk is sacred. When it be say you go put beginning in place and tell them thing for do, in case army come, in case army no come, waiting for do. When I go plan and based on side when I stay for day. When I go keep on attention and when I go hear audio from President Sako and for the ABC, we go educate we. Once you listen to something, you hear them, you share with your brother, you delete them. You listen them, you hear, you share, you delete them. We will tell them about job safety, how to preserve job for this time for war, how to take care for yourself for this time for war. If you for do any kind of thing, we will educate una. And again, last but not the least, when I go learn for share with una neighbor. When I go learn for share with una neighbor, when I forgot, even if I sign, I got to make sign, if I'm in the camp, even if I do like this, you know, say I'm in the camp. They're gonna say I'm when I'm gonna say a friend. When you see a friend, where I'm in the car, you don't know what to do. You make everything sound like this. When I try to make mumu kind sign among myself, where I'm in the camp, sometimes you know if you don't say I'm in the camp because they go know. If you even scratch your head, you know say that sign where I'm in the camp. When I teach when I begin a small sign language for house, so that may they know how to communicate in case a danger they come. Just that communication, if it save us. Now, those were they fight, and those were they fight. When I know say at this time for war, now all would fight. No matter all for the people they hold gun. When we papa them, we know the kidnap una, we can for protect, defend, and for support una. We are resistant. This time you go show the world. Say this so we don't vex. We no one can run government again for your area. And with the tank una, and those girls and boys where they did army. If you did army, you go die with army. Those where they help the enemy. If you help the enemy, we go take care for you. And last but not least, the federal government don't say make people they live for your land, make Cameroon government live for your land. President don't sign what they call executive order. So any order will sign them. If they under that president executive order. As una the children for our country, if you are a freshman, you go surely die for your house for this time for lockdown. Because they can't find you, it is for years, and they can't find you Saturday for catch you, for squeeze you. When they collect tax, una name na die already. So now order again for talk. I don't need for talk too much again. Or what do you say? Over to you, Director Paddy. Hello.
Yeah,
It's Paddy.
about that, we're trying to do some setup here. Okay, Barrister Fru, I hope you're contented. Now, what do you think?
Well, if Commissioner Willy can assure Ambazonians that that announcement made by the Mountain Lions is corrected and that the Mountain Lions will enforce the government's lockdown policy from in all of FACO, then I'm contented. If not, that announcement is against the government policy, and that is wrong. Commander Willy takes steps to correct that announcement because it polarizes our people. It polarizes our people. Our people are supposed to respect the lockdown from the 2nd to the 9th, not from the 9th going forward. That does not mean that if there's a security situation in a particular area, they cannot enforce anything after the 9th. They can. But all I'm saying is that the government policy, the government announcement has gone out, and it must be respected to the letter.